What are we talking?
$4 grand.
$4,000.
Not counting the interest I'm going to whack on.
Daniel.
What is it? Is he okay?
He's a lying little rat, that's what he is. He was still dealing in stolen MP3 players.
Since things obviously aren't working for you here, when the law is finished with you, you are going back to Samoa. You have blown it.
Please, don't send me back to Samoa. I won't mess up again, I promise.
You promise and you promise and you keep promising and nothing changes.
I don't think it's worse.
Whatever the cops want, any punishment you think I deserve, I'll do it.
What would work now that we haven't already tried?
No more lies, I swear. I stole this from your bag. I was going to use it to pay back Pete for the $4 grand that I owe him. I'm being honest. I'm trying to show you that...
Just get out of my sight.
Look, please. Just tell me what you want me to do and I'll... Look, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And can you include the charge nurses for tomorrow's risk management meeting?
Emailing as we speak.
Hi there.
Home time, and you owe me dinner somewhere seriously expensive.
Yeah, I'll be right with you. Just one moment. And I need the monthly incident reports to go over tonight.
Well, they're on your desk already, in your intro.
One step ahead, as always. Many thanks. 2 ticks.
Quite the efficient little secretary, aren't we? I prefer personal assistant. I prefer it if your sister were in jail where she belongs. But we don't always get what we want, do we? Excuse me?
Libby, where are those reports?
They're, coming.
I'll be right back.
I've got 2 patients who need to see a doctor.
All right.
One's a skateboarder with a shoulder injury, the other's a chest infection.
All right, the first one been x-rayed?
He looks normal, but he needs a referral letter and a completed ACC form before he can see a physio.
You can do that.
It's not my job.
The chest infection.
I think he needs a prescription for antibiotics.
Then refer it to the PCC.
Also, not my job.
Tanya, you couldn't handle the paperwork on these for me to sign. I'm flat out. It's just this once.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
So if we can remind staff of these techniques, disclosing medical errors to patients and their families should be something we can manage more effectively.
Excuse me, sorry.
And I've also got information on training days where this will be looked at in much more detail. But that's all. Ta.
Good, thanks, Scotty. Get those dates to Libby so she can circulate to all departments.
Will do.
Moving on. Dr. Avia, we'll hear from you next.
About?
Risk management in the ED, starting with a summary of the incident reports from last month.
Sorry, I didn't bring a copy with me.
Right. Well, let me remind you. Last month you reported a needle stick injury, 2 drug errors and patient assaulting a staff member. What risk management procedures are you implementing?
Yes, right, well, we certainly have procedures.
And how do these vary from the ones you used in Hong Kong? Maybe we can learn something.
To be honest, I've been full-on busy and I'm not prepared enough to answer any of those questions right now. If the nurses were doing their jobs properly...
We appreciate the ED as a high-pressure department, but your job demands that you keep up administratively as well.
I hear you.
Good, and please, next meeting, be on time. Speaking of which, where's Maya? I made sure she was memoed.
I know she's here. I saw her in the cafe earlier.
I'll chase that one up.
Please do. OK, Brooke, risk management in the PCC. Let's hear it. Dr. Avia, listen and learn.
She's trying awfully hard to please, whipping up slacks for you.
Exactly. Don't be so ungracious.
Well, you wouldn't be feeling gracious either if you'd been hearing the things she said about Maya.
What's she been saying now?
No, just general bad-mouthing.
A little matter.
Adaha's not the only one.
Carol. Well, she never has a good word to say about anyone.
It's more than 1 or 2.
Yeah, it's more like an unhappy uprising.
It would have been easier if she came back just a nurse, but charge nurse straight away?
Some people just don't think it's very appropriate. That's all after, well, everything.
She's working so hard to prove herself. Can't they see that?
It'll get better once people get used to it.
Oh, Maya, I thought everything was going so well.
She's drowning, not waving, Yvonne.
Have you called Tim?
Yeah, I had to leave a message. She must be on a dive. Thank you. Sending Daniel back... It is the right thing to do, isn't it? Oh, well, what am I meant to do, TK? I can't drag Mum and Dad back from their travels, and they'd never handle him now anyway. He's too much.
I think Daniel needs to know he's got whānau he can fall back on right here. That way he sees he's letting us all down and not just himself.
But he's seen that, and it doesn't affect him. It's like nothing does.
Well, what about one of these boot camps? Oh, it's worth a go, isn't it? Let's make Samoa the last resort.
I thought I was the soft one.
Well, if we keep bouncing him around and sending him back and forth when things get tough, it looks like none of us really care.
Yeah, I guess so. You must be wondering what you took on when you married me.
Yeah, one tough woman who doesn't give up on what she believes, that's what.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think I do believe in Daniel anymore.
Look, we're gonna pull together. We're gonna make this work. Boot camp starts right here, right now.
Will you wear army fatigues?
That's what it takes?
Then I'm in.
It's hurting. Get off! Look, calm down, Mr. Reynolds. We're not going to get anywhere if you keep behaving like this.
Sorry.
It's all right. Should we start again? I'll be right here now. Take 15.
No, I can wait.
Please, I don't want Tracy on at me about you missing your breaks.
As long as Mr. Reynolds promises he's calmer now.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Hey, I have a solution to the backlog. Great, what? There are 2 patients who can be transferred to surgical right away. Davidson and Wu. They've already been assessed by the on-call surgical registrar.
Davidson needs a cellulitic wound debridement and Wu a new IV line.
Yeah, so I can do that and transfer them on.
Tons. They're doctors' jobs.
Yes, but if we don't do it, the ward nurses will have to. We're not proving any point if a nurse somewhere else in the hospital has to pick up our slack.
The doctor's slack, not ours. The house surgeon should be doing it.
Oh, getting them offside now too, are we? Risky move.
He's right. Gabrielle will hit the roof.
We can't let ourselves be intimidated by the doctors or let our sympathy for them weaken our stand.
I am not.
Good. Make sure the 2 patients are seen by a doctor then.
Why did you miss the HOD meeting?
What meeting?
First thing this morning on risk management. The charge nurses were memoed.
I wasn't.
Libby assured me that you were. Did you check your email as soon as you got in?
Yes, of course.
How are you handling everything? It's not too much?
No, I'm fine. I'll check my emails again, but I don't know how I could have missed that.
Edie is sending up 2 unprepped patients. You need to do something about it.
So the nurses are pushing through with their work to rules policy down there.
And expecting my overworked house surgeons to prep instead.
I'll do it.
Good. A nurse who knows her job. Thank you.
Was that wise? It's important you keep staff on side.
And to keep doctor-nurse relationships running smoothly.
Not at the risk of breaching union protocol.
Does Tracy have union support? I didn't think she did.
Really?
Have you heard of any nurses at any other hospitals taking similar action?
I haven't asked.
No, it's only happening here, Scotty. So, if you don't mind, I have patients to prep.
You haven't had a break yet, have you?
No, but aren't you breaching your contract and fraternising with the enemy?
Eat, or we'll be laying you out in a cubicle.
In that case.
You can't keep this up. Honestly, tired doctors make mistakes. Tracy has gone overboard.
Then tell her.
This next one has an ankle injury from a rugby match. I'll take it while you get a cup of coffee too.
No, I'm all right. You nurses can't break me that easily.
Yeah, well, you might break a patient.
Like I said, tell Tracy, meanwhile, I have to keep this place running.
Hey, mate. Oh.
Morning. Are you here to see your dad?
Yeah, because since breakfast an hour ago, I've really been missing him.
Hey.
Hey, how come you didn't come back over last night?
I decided to stay on with Morgan and Gerald after all. Can't let them scare me away. I'm no doormat.
Cool.
What time's your appointment?
Well, it was meant to be 1:45, but they're way down. It's easy to see why.
Wow. You'd think the CEO's son wouldn't have to wait.
Well, if Dad knew I was here, but since I'm not speaking to him.
He seems okay to me.
Looks like I'm up. See ya.
How's the big romance going?
It's early days.
Well, good luck. I've still a little way to go with both Hunter and Sophie, I'm afraid.
I guess they miss their mum still.
Well, of course they do. But I wish they'd reach out. I'm not so bad. So, how are you settling in here? The first few weeks can be daunting.
It's okay, I guess.
Well, I don't envy you, especially given the return of a sit-in-charge nurse.
Oh, right. Yeah, Maya freaked me out at first, but Morgan reckons that she's okay now.
You've got to be kidding. Look, Morgan is a sweetheart, but she is not the brightest light on the Christmas tree. Maya is a murderer. Make no mistake.
But I thought she was, like, mentally ill at the time.
That's what she claimed to get off the charge. She killed a man, Aroha. That's the fact of it.
Hey, Mum. These need typing up.
Maya, wait. How are you today?
Oh, I can't stop and flat out. This work to rule thing Tracy's drummed up is running me ragged.
So you don't agree with what she's doing?
No. There are ways to go about things, and this isn't one of them.
Do you think that's why you're not getting on with some of the nurses?
What? Who told you that?
Well, you know how these things get around.
Well, I've had a little bit of attitude for filling Shanti's shoes, but I was expecting that.
You're all right, then?
Yes. And I'm going to sort out this standoff today. After that, things will settle down. The rift between doctors and nurses is increasing, and management unsympathetic.
Because they know we have them over a barrel, which was the point. We need to keep the pressure on and finish what we started.
I agree with what you're fighting for, but
Stop breaking rank.
I'm not. I am trying to keep a busy hospital afloat with nursing care.
Care that is undervalued. If we keep suffering, then ultimately the hospital suffers too.
Yeah. I don't think this is the right way to go about it.
Well, we have to make a stand somehow.
What do you think?
Are the union behind what you're doing?
Technically, this isn't a work to rule campaign. We're just following our contractual obligations to the letter.
Semantics, Tracy. Do you have union support or not?
They are aware of what we're doing and support us 100%.
Then, if it's a union matter, that it needs to be put to the vote. Personally, I'm with Maya. I think there are better ways to go about doing this. But as nursing manager, I have a foot in both camps. So I'll leave you to vote. Come see me after. Good luck.
Right. Show of hands, please. All those in favour of continuing industrial action? So, apart from the sisters, I would say that's unanimous.
Read it out.
I, Daniel Potts, am grounded.
Keep going.
I will go to the police and confess everything.
And that means everything. Keep going.
I will pay in full the damage to TK's car. I will write a letter to Ryan's parents apologising and begging for their forgiveness.
And then we will visit them in person and ask what else we can do to help. Keep going.
I will accept all further punishment from the court and I will attend boot camp. I will let TK and Sarah know where I am at all times, without excuses. I will be home by dark without exception, and I will follow any further disciplinary action they decide upon.
Sign it.
And when do I go back to Samoa?
Sending you back and forth between us isn't going to solve anything. I am your mother, and like it or not, I am responsible for what you've done.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. If I can't help control your behaviour, then who can?
I won't let you down.
You see, you say that, and you sound sincere, and in the past I would have bought it, but not now.
I'm sorry.
This time we all need more than sorry. Sign it. You're not going back to Samoa, but this is your last chance, Daniel, and I mean that. The very last.
I have 2 more patients for you.
Bring 'em on. You must see me break this shift.
Well, then there's always the next, isn't there?
Tracy, how about a compromise?
Such as?
We draft a letter to management outlining our request for more support staff in the next budget round.
It'll be dismissed.
No, your campaign has proved that the nurses are serious. They'll listen. It won't be bottom drawed. And if it is, then we go to the union. We ask for their advice and we arbitrate from there.
What should we do in the meantime?
We stop the work to rule as a measure of good faith and take the pressure off.
Do I hear nurse actually making sense? I really have been working too hard.
It won't work.
Why?
We have the momentum going now. We've got them by the short and curly, so let's run with it.
You're making a mistake.
No, I think you are. You didn't have a hope of winning that vote, yet you seem to think that you did. You're out of touch, Maya.
I know how to do my job.
Well, then why are all of your staff pulling one way and you the other? Maybe you've come back to work too soon. Think about it.
Mrs. Claremont is waiting for a blanket and a pillow.
I'll be right there.
Now, please. She's just come out of surgery. She's cold and uncomfortable. Or are these services not part of the nursing contract? Of course. Could you straighten up her bedclothes too? She's been very restless.
Oh, Maya! Damn. I've got a parking pass to sign for. Oh, seems as though everyone's too busy to pick up their stuff from triage anymore, so I am run ragged chasing them.
And we love you for it, Gerald.
Oh, well, thank you, Brooke.
Oh, yes, we do.
Hey, honey. How'd it go?
Oh, he took it all on, every bit.
You don't buy it?
Time will tell, I guess.
Hey, come on, we need to start more positive than that.
I'm trying, okay, but how many more times?
I know, I know.
I keep seeing Ryan lying there in his hospital bed, and I think, my son did that. My son.
It's okay.
No, not for Ryan and his family. It's not. And it never will be again.
She did shoot that doctor. Mental or not, she did. Mr. Blythe needs a dressing change. Can you do that alone? What about that whole sexual harassment thing? I never heard anything about that. People gossip and get it wrong sometimes. Can we concentrate on work now, please? If she tries to sexually harass me, she's going to get a kick in the head. Stop it. Maya's a good person. A good person who picked up a gun, pointed it at someone and bang. Maya went through a difficult time. She had psychiatric treatment and she was cleared of anything. I was just telling Ada how that...
I had treatment and I'm on regular medication to manage my problem. Is there anything else, Araha?
No, nothing. I'm really sorry, Maya.
Maybe Tracy's right. Maybe I've come back to work too soon.
The problems she's stirring up would test anyone. You couldn't pick a worse time to be charge nurse.
You think I'd lose too much face if I got out now?
Well, I wasn't at all sure that you should come back.
You're right.
But now I think you shouldn't feel shoved out. Why don't you just stick it out and see how the job pans out once all of this is settled? Where's my car? Are you sure you left it here?
Oh, no. It's been towed. I was meant to pick up that tag from Gerald.
I am thinking wine, I'm thinking seafood, I'm thinking candlelight.
And I'm thinking, what's the occasion?
I've just had a good day and I'd like a better night to follow.
Okay, count me in. In fact, let's make it at my place.
And risk a teenager-led uprising.
Hunter and Sophie are just going to have to adjust. We're not going to hide anymore.
Excuse me, Callum.
Maya, what is it?
I shouldn't have come back. It's too soon.
Okay, just settle down and we'll talk our way through this.
No, it's not going to make any difference because I can't do the job and deal with this union situation as well.
Hang on, what union situation? Okay, let's cut the crap, shall we? Are the union behind this?
They support what we are doing.
But there's no national directive. No other nurses are working to rule outside this hospital.
No.
Tracy, I don't know who you're talking to at the union, but what you are doing constitutes a partial strike.
No, listen.
For which you are obliged to give this hospital 14 days' notice.
Well, it's not official.
Then it is illegal. Tracy, pack your things and leave. You no longer work here.
What? No.
And that goes for any other nurse that refuses to return to work at full capacity immediately.
Wait. Look, I can't afford to lose Tracy. She's an excellent nurse.
Was.
Well, hang on. Look, the fast-track clinic started this. It put pressure on the nurses. Now, I'm happy to shut it down until we have, assurances for more funding.
Are you sure?
Yes. And your point has been made. We do take nurses for granted. Hopefully you can return to work as was and we can leave all of this behind.
I'm not sure it's that simple. But...
Tracy, you're on thin ice. Dr. Avia has thrown you a lifeline. Need I say more? Good. Thank you for a bracing meeting to end the day. Have a good night.
That could have gone a lot worse. We'll talk, okay?
Tracy, I hope we get our working relationship back on track.
You honestly think I can't see through what you were doing in there?
Excuse me?
Look at me, Callum. I'm such a nice guy. I'm so amenable, so gracious.
Ah, more gracious than you, obviously.
You could have closed the fast-track clinic any time you wanted, but no, save it to sacrifice in front of the CEO.
Well, I'll have to go back in there and tell him that you've changed your mind.
Actually, you'd love it, but I need a job, so you win.
Glad to hear it.
For today, anyway.
You have the perfect lips that every man wants to kiss.
One love triangle would be dangerous.
My place or yours? Playing them off against each other.
Two would be scandalous.
How sad would I be if I was threatened by her?
But three...
You haven't even had the decency to tell Mum that you've replaced her.
That's outrageous.
You're a lying, cheating pig, and I hate you! I don't have a family anymore. There's nothing left.
Shortland Street, 7 o'clock weeknights, TV2.